We came from roaches on the floor, a notice on the door, baking soda in the jar, but now we focus on the law. It's like soap up in a cloth, the way it's soaking and it wash. It's something like good dope, cause it's potent and it's raw.
I used to post up at the store, work stashed behind the door. Everything I had was pure, so fiends was coming back for more. The Most High opened my eyes, and then I seen that I was flawed. Now I'm addicted to these laws because they potent and they raw.
Let me talk to this brother. Let me talk to you, brother. Let me talk to you. Don't worry about it. Come over here. Let me talk to you. You're outside on the Shabbat? What does the law say about leaving your house on the Shabbat? Excuse me? I can't hear you. Come closer. Let me talk to you.
Have a seat, brother. There's a rabbinical prohibition on my body you can travel, but...
Show me that. Show me that.
The rabbinical prohibition?
Yeah, show me that. Show me that in the Torah.
That's a rabbinical prohibition.
What's that?
It's not a Torah prohibition.
Exactly. So where'd you get that from?
Where I first learned it, I don't know. I think probably I was taking a walk.
No.
They were like, don't go too far.
So are they adding laws to the law?
No, it's not. It's not an addition. It might be a.
It is an addition. Are you getting chastised for it?
No. I mean, I think that might be a chumrah. I'm not.
A what?
A chumrah, like a. It's like a fence.
It's like a railway for safety, basically.
Yeah, it's like a fence.
I know.
It's a fence around the actual prohibition. Yeah, but yeah, it's not.
So it's not a law.
It's not a Torah prohibition. But there are rabbinical.
So if somebody that you go to the synagogue,
Yeah.
where's the synagogue at out here?
I go to a bunch of different synagogues.
What's that?
I go to a bunch of different synagogues.
I know, but where's it out here? I'm not familiar with the synagogue in San Francisco.
There's a bunch. There's some in the mission, some.
Oh, okay. So you believe today's the Sabbath as well?
Yeah.
How do you prove today's the Sabbath in the Bible?
How do you prove that this
Yeah.
is the correct day?
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, so there's not a proof of it. There's.
You're practicing something you can't prove?
We don't have any reason to think that it's the wrong day.
Who's we? Your teachers or your rabbis?
Me and the other Jews that I come from.
Where are you from actually, brother? Where are you from?
Detroit.
What's your ethnicity?
I'm like a mix of a bunch of different.
What about your father?
He's also a mix.
What's a mix?
Like native, African, German.
So would you consider yourself a black man, African American?
Yeah.
And your father and your grandfather, would they consider African American or what?
Yeah.
Or what size native?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah. We're just mixed.
What's your name?
RL.
RL?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's read you read the Torah, right? Torah and Tanakh?
Yeah.
You don't believe in the New Testament?
No.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question, because this rabbinical, what's it called, decree, they use a verse in the Torah to justify putting extra, what's it called, bounds on certain commandments, on a certain mitzvah, right? So, I mean, we can go back, like, they use this one especially, right? In Devarim 22:8, you shall not bring blood upon your house, if anyone shall fall from it. What does it mean? And then they go on to say that once you put a rail around the house for one not to fall over it. Why do Rashi uses that as an excuse to put extra prohibitions that's not found in the Torah?
I don't know the Rashi that you're citing, but the basis for rabbinical law, I think is actually in Shoftim. It's in Parshat Shoftim, which is in right?
What is it?
Shoftim. It's like a parsha in the Torah.
It's a what in the Torah?
It's a parsha. It's a portion that they read there in synagogue.
But it's in the Torah.
Yeah, so in Shoftim it says that Hashem is giving us these guides, these leaders, and we're supposed to do what they say. We're not supposed to go to the right or to the left, and that's the basis for.
I understand what you're saying, but that's talking about the Torah that's written, right? Not when somebody comes years later and tells you.
That's actually the basis for rabbinical authority from the Torah, in the text of the Torah itself. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that deals with like.
But I'm telling you, but I'm asking you, because you said what you referenced isn't in Torah. Could comes from the rabbis, right?
Yeah, that's a rabbinical.
And that's what you're saying. They get an authority to give you ordinances.
Yeah, they have an authority to legislate, but the rabbinical laws don't trump the Torah laws. The Torah
So are
laws,
you in sin?
Huh?
Are you in sin right now?
Sin?
Are you in sin for being outside on the Torah or on the Sabbath?
No. The biggest risk I have right now is maybe if you're.
Why are you smiling, brother?
Well, no, it's
that was a little devious smile you just did.
No, it's the
You're not in
issue-
sin?
They teaching them that.
The biggest issue would be like if you're Israelite and you're using the microphone according to our legal tradition.
Yeah, you can't even turn on a light switch or any of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm making you talk to me on your microphone, that would be an issue.
Well, I don't believe this is the Sabbath first and foremost. I don't believe we're in sin right now. So
yeah,
so you're not in sin for disobeying. What's that?
I know there are groups of Jews who think that we have the day wrong, but it's not. The
That's not in the Bible. It's not in the Torah.
Yeah, so the halacha that we observe is like if you are like get stranded, like in some place like Alaska where the sun is rising and setting multiple times, and you're confused, you're supposed to just count 7 days and start keeping that day as the Shabbat. That's
I mean, where do you start from?
You start from the last day you kept Shabbat, and then 7 days.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it can be Wednesday.
So that means that if collectively en masse a bunch of us got lost, until we have the basis, the proof, and the resources.
You wouldn't be lost in your mind. You'd just be lost as far as location.
It's lost in terms of calendar.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to tell the day from the night in Alaska, right? Because it's 10-hour, 20-hour days.
Yeah.
So you keep sundown to sundown?
I keep sundown to nightfall.
Exactly. That's the Hebrew day. Sundown to sundown, right?
Well, the nightfall portion is the extra hour. That's why it's 25 hours for Shabbat instead of 24 hours.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's nightfall to nightfall.
No, sunset to nightfall.
So when's the sunset? What's the sky look like in the sunset?
When it sunsets, it's still light out. The sun goes below the horizon, but it's not dark out yet. So there's about
the last light, pretty much.
Yeah, it's about an hour period where maybe it's like 40ish something, something like that.
Okay, so it's technically still dark to dark. Pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say.
So,
evening to evening.
So where is the separation, right, from the week into Sabbath at that point?
When is it? When do we do Havdalah? Like at the end?
Yeah, the separation from the rest of the week into Sabbath.
We do the Havdalah.
Once the sun already passes the horizon, or when it's completely dark outside.
We do the Havdalah ceremony after nightfall, so twilight. So when we see 3 stars, that's how we measure it. You look for 3 stars in the sky. So once you can see 3 stars, then you know that Shabbat is over.
So let me ask you, so in your synagogues, are you going to Ashkenazi synagogues, or are you going to SICARII?
There are not really. There's not many. There's only one like Litvish Ashkenazi synagogue in San Francisco. So
little. They're predominantly more Ashkenazi.
No, there's actually not. You might be thinking of Chabad. Chabad is not Ashkenazi.
Chabad, I know Chabad. They have it on 6th and Mission.
Yeah.
What about 7th and Geary?
Geary. Yeah.
The synagogue over there?
Yeah.
Who runs that? What type of Judaism or where are they from?
I think that's a Chabad shul. I think. It's 7th. Or maybe I'm thinking of 10th and Geary.
How long you been learning?
Are you thinking of
what's that?
4th and Geary or 7th?
I'm not sure. My brother just said that. Okay. So I'm not familiar. Like I said, I asked you where they are. I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
I know they have a community, certain places. I've seen a couple Jewish guys running around, but I'm like, man, where are they at?
Yeah.
But, not a problem. I'm worried about you, though. How long you been learning this information?
I've been, since birth, before birth. But,
since birth?
When did I start really getting on the derek? Like, or a little bit more than like around 12 years ago.
You've been going to synagogues and keeping the Torah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you believe that you're a convert, or are you a bloodline descendant? It's a simple answer, brother. Either you're a convert or you're a Jew.
I have Israelite ancestry on both sides of my family.
So you're a Jew?
Yeah.
What tribe are you from?
Judah.
From Judah?
Yeah.
How do you prove that?
It's not really for me to prove. It's more like other people.
You're making a claim. I'm challenging your claim.
Yeah, but it's not like me. It's not a claim that I make. It's more like.
Is it by DNA or is it ancestry?
It's
Which
more.
is the same thing.
You're saying like if we wanted to validate it, DNA would be one option, but what I was explaining, it's not like for me. It's not. I'm not going around wondering, which I didn't walk around wondering which tribe I'm from. It's more like other people.
But you already know what tribe you're from. You just told me you're from Judah. And I was asking you, how do you know that?
Because there are other people who know. They know different things about different families, and they know who comes from. Like,
You would think that's.
Oh, it's oral. It's oral. Somebody told you that.
You would think it's important too.
I mean, I guess you call it oral, but it's more like
You said some people that know families. So what families? Who? Like what? It is the same
There's
thing,
a lot
brother.
of people. There's a lot of people.
Sir. So you're not a convert, right?
No, I'm both. I'm because if your family like left Judaism, then you have to convert when you come back. Even if
I'm sorry?
Yeah, you have to convert when you come back, even if you're already Jewish.
Is that what happened with your family?
This is what happened with me. The rest of my family, they're still working their way out.
They're in the world, pretty much. Okay. So who told you were Judah though? That's what a rabbi told you that? Or did DNA tell you that? Cause I want to go somewhere with this.
No, I mean I know people. They know
Sir,
these sorts of
if your
things.
family isn't in Judaism and you converted back, were they ever in Judaism? Your family, your father, your grandfather?
Yeah, like I knew about it when I was a kid, but I didn't.
Oh yeah, you didn't say that. You didn't say that.
Yeah.
So they just threw it to the wind, pretty much.
Well, no, because then my dad ended up with my mom, so they didn't let it go completely. Because my dad could have ended up with anyone.
I'm sorry.
They didn't let it go completely because my dad ended up with my mom, so they didn't let it go completely because he could have ended up with anyone. So.
Here's what you just said. You said you're both. You're a convert and by blood, right?
Yeah.
So you're always going to be an Israelite by blood. You can't convert. You can convert back in ideology, but you're always an Israelite or a Jew, right? No matter what.
Yeah, but conversion is more like a process of communal readmittance.
I understand
so,
that.
Yeah,
I believe that as well. By your actions.
Well, yeah, it's also if you look in the Bible, they're converting over and over again. It's every couple chapters because before they
I wouldn't
received
say
the
they're
Torah,
converting. I would say they're returning to their heritage.
Yeah, it's we call it Gior today, but they're doing circumcision and mikvah and reacceptance of the mitzvah.
Well, you can only get circumcised once, so I mean, I'm not sure.
Nah, even if you had a circumcision as a baby, you could still have to even Jews who are completely Jewish on both sides, they had a circumcision when they were a baby, but there's some issue, maybe some documentation was lost. A lot of Jews lost all their family records with the war.
Mm-hmm.
So they still have to do. They call it Gior Lachumra. It's because otherwise you could risk potentially. So in order to not have any risk, just do a Gior, even though you're already Jewish. And it's so you do what's called a Hatafat Dam, which they do a prick of blood because there's no foreskin to take off because you already got circumcised. And that's the ritual that you do. And there's other stuff because
Is that in the Bible?
Hatafat Dam. I don't know if Hatafat Dam is mentioned in the text anywhere.
That's what I'm asking you. So that's what what sect are you actually?
I'm kind of
Sephardic or?
I'm kind of non-denominational.
Kinda?
Yeah.
But, so who do you learn from?
I try to learn from everyone. That's what it
Who
says.
are your rabbis? Where are your rabbis from?
I have a diversity of rabbis. I have SICARII rabbis. I have Chabad rabbis. I have Ashkenazi rabbis, Litvish rabbis.
Okay, so anybody that believes in the Torah pretty much is your teacher. Torah and Tanakh.
I'm blessed with some really learned scholars.
But they all believe in Torah and Tanakh though.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe in the mitzvah? The mitzvah.
Mitzvah.
Yeah, mitzvah.
Which mitzvah?
Do you believe in the mitzvah?
Which mitzvah?
The main one.
The main one? Yes. Are you referring to the man and wife mitzvah? Which mitzvah?
All of them. Whatever one that you're thinking about.
Yeah, all 613.
All 613. You talking about the commandments?
Yeah, the mitzvah.
What about what's the word I'm thinking of? No. I'm thinking of something else. No. The other book. You know what I'm talking about?
Talmud?
The Talmud. That's what I want. The Talmud. You read the
Mishnah.
Talmud?
Are you asking about the Mishnah?
Yes, Mishnah. That's what I thought I said. Mishnah.
Yeah, the Mishnah is passed down and then codified in the like 200s.
You believe in the Talmud, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what it says about black skin in there?
No.
You have it? Let's read it. And your rabbis haven't taught you this?
No.
Okay, let's read.
This is Barakah 31 and verse 11. If she had previously given birth with pain, she now giveth birth with ease. If she had previously given birth to daughters, she now give birth to sons. Or if she previously gave birth to black children, considered to be unattractive, she now gives birth to fair children.
So if a woman gives birth to a black child, she's unattractive.
Ooh.
Have you read that before?
I have not read that. I'd be curious to see what exactly the Hebrew text is and what
You read
it
Hebrew?
might be saying, because there's a conflict with other things in Torah tradition where Kushi,
No, this isn't Torah. This is something else.
Kushi literally means beautiful. It also means black. But
Kushi?
Yeah.
Give me that. Let's read the Hebrew. Let me see. I want the other one though. Let me see. Where's the Hebrew at? Oh, it's at the top. Let me see. Where did you start at? Yeah, that. The other one. Yeah, go back to that one. Oh, you started down here. Okay. Where does it say black children? Yeah. You can read Hebrew, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
That's just
modern Hebrew.
however, Rabbi Elazar's opinion worked out well according to the one who said that the verse means if she were barren, she would be remembered by God. Where exactly is that?
No, it's right here. You must have in Hebrew.
It's right here.
Yeah, I can use the phone because I'm keeping Shabbat.
Bro, you're not using the phone. You're just looking at it. Come on, bro. You're already outside breaking the Shabbat.
Right.
You're not at your house.
I'm not breaking Shabbat.
This guy. Listen, that is, what you're talking about is not in Torah. So, if you want to read it, you can read it. You're not breaking the Shabbat.
No, I'll look it up after Shabbat.
Lord in Christ. What is it? Barakah 31b.
It's in traffic Barakah. Is this 3-1B? That's 3-1B.
Yeah, 31b.
Oh, 3-1B.
Yeah, 3-1b. Yeah, 1b. Yeah. Not a problem. What else did you have? It's not a problem. So, I just want to get back to the whole convert thing. You learn from all these different teachers, you know what I mean? And me personally, I believe you're in the wrong belief system.
Right,
I believe you're a Jew.
right,
I definitely believe you're an Israelite.
right.
But you're learning from the slave master still.
Right.
What's going on right now?
Bring it out.
'Cause what you're doing right now is you're taking rabbinical hearsay pretty much that they made up on the fly. None of that's in Torah. They're making up new laws for you to keep, and that's against the Bible. You're not supposed to add to the law. That's when I asked you if you were in sin, you did a little smirk.
Yeah, so they're not adding laws. They're legislating, but it's rabbinical law. So they're not. You can't add.
So it's their personal law.
No, they can't add Torah law. There's different levels.
And that's what I'm telling. Exactly, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, we have like rabbinical law, and we have Torah law. So
So you're not in
sometimes,
sin either way.
well, sometimes there's a conflict. If there's a conflict between Torah law and rabbinical law,
How is there a conflict?
Then
It shouldn't be a
It's
conflict.
Hashem.
no, it could be like
Sir,
sometimes
so,
it seems
so
like
can rabbinical law
says
supersede Hashem's law?
No, it can't. So that's the
So
whole
how's,
point.
where's there a conflict? Why would they even have a thought to
It
go against
seems like
Hashem's
there's
law?
a conflict. Like it
I'm not
seems
saying
like,
there's a conflict. I'm saying even if that was a thought process, why would they even make up things to even conflict with the Most High's word, the Torah?
It seems like there's a
I'm
conflict.
not saying that. I'm saying just the general thought. Why would they even say something to even put themselves in that predicament? That's what I'm telling you. So what do you do in that regard? If there's a conflict between the Torah and the rabbinical,
Then the Torah
Same.
law trumps the rabbinical law.
okay.
Yeah.
So the Torah law says you're not supposed to leave your house on the Shabbat.
I don't think that's what the Torah is actually saying, that you're not
What,
supposed to go
what does it
outside.
say? Because I was going to have him read it. We can read it in a second. But I want to get to something else. Where you at?
Yeah, I think it's like, we say that there's like different levels to the Torah in order to actually understand it.
There's 3 levels.
We call it, well, we say it's pardes. So there's Peshat, Remez, Drash, and Sod. And Sod is the secret level. But they say like without the last level, if you only study the first 3, that word without the last letter, it means mule. So it's like you're stuck like a mule. So
Without the proper understanding, pretty much.
yeah, basically it's like unless you study all the levels, like you have to study the Peshat level of the Torah, which is like the way they describe that is like what a 5-year-old will understand if they read it. But there's so many things where it's very obvious where it's like, it's saying this, but what does it mean? And then there's a lot of like, in Hebrew it's much more obvious. There's a ton of like puns and wordplay. And that just doesn't come through to the English.
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
So
The Hebrew breaks it down thoroughly.
yeah, it's like a
concrete.
lot of the like codes that are in the Torah, you would never even like suspect that they were there if you're reading a translation. You just never. A lot of them are like letter codes. They're not word codes. They're letter codes.
Even the actual individual letter.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
So
that-
now you're going into gematria, right?
It's not just gematria, but gematria is a big thing.
You practice gematria?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty fundamental because there's no letters and numbers in Hebrew. There's just the aleph bet. So you have aleph.
I mean,
bet,
those are letters,
Gimel,
though.
Dalet, Hey, but they're also how we count.
They do, with their numbers though, right?
Yeah, that's why our holidays when we say like hey, or we say like Tisha B'Av, it's the 9th of Av. That's also like the like name. It's not like, or like you say like give me Zion, like you're saying give me 7. You're not saying give me the letter Zion.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it's like it's different in Hebrew. It's not like we don't have letters and numbers. We just have the aleph bet.
So where does gematria come in? Because that's exactly what it is.
Well, it's like the only reason we have this concept gematria is because of exile. Because internally in Hebrew culture, you don't need an additional concept of gematria. It's like it's always lettered. You
Yeah,
have
letters.
full, you have like full fluidity from the time you start learning the alphabet. So the idea that there's this new concept that the Hebrew letters can also be used for numbers, that's only a consequence of exile where people have forgotten that that's actually just the default. That's the
But you still practice that.
Yeah, it's automatic. It's not optional. If you have the Torah, the Torah is also numerical. It's not just.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I believe that.
Yeah.
But
It's
here's
not
the-
like an additional thing that was added, like the matria is this new-
gematria is additional. Because they use it for different type of rituals and things like that.
Well,
Right.
the
In the Kabbalah.
interpretations, like
You
different.
believe in you practice Kabbalah?
I am not married at over 40 yet.
But you believe in that though. Gematria is part of the Kabbalah.
Yeah, but usually you don't learn Kabbalah until after you turn 40.
It doesn't matter, but you believe in it.
Yeah, I mean Kabbalah just means reception. It also means receipt in Hebrew, like a printed receipt.
Okay. But you
So you
practice
say
it,
like
right?
Kabbalah B'derech, like your receipt is on the way. Like if someone
Okay.
like.
Not a problem.
So
What you
it's
got?
like, but that's like
Give me
saying
that. What do
asking
you
if
got?
you believe in Kabbalah is like asking do you believe the
I'm talking about the
traditions
rituals though.
received.
The ritualistic aspect. What's that?
That's a little bit. That's for
What's that?
That's for I'm not over 40 yet. You have to be of a certain age.
But I'm saying the gematria is not in the Torah.
No, the Torah is gematria. That's
I don't agree.
because
Give
all
me
of
Daniel
the
9. What's that?
the aleph bet is a numerical system. It's a mathematical.
But you
system.
said we learned it in exile, right?
No, it's that people think that that it's a new thing or it's additional or it's like not fundamental automatically.
So just the language and the word, the letters itself
it's always
translate to that particular.
It's always mathematical, and so that's why we have like error correcting codes in the Torah. Like if somebody tried to change a single letter, the numerical value for that line would be
Yeah,
different.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like a computer code.
But that's gematria, right?
Yeah, you can call it gematria, it's just Hebrew.
Exactly, but gematria is something different. right?
No, not really. It always seems that way because of exile. So basically, it's like
So is
in
it gematria or is it not gematria?
So this is what happened. Basically, in exile, people forgot the numerical aspect of the Torah.
How?
It's just a lot of oppression,
And what
a
exile?
lot of like
Babylon
fleeing
or
and
what?
running.
What exile?
Over the course of all of them. Yeah, all of them.
So what Torah are you reading today?
What do you mean?
What Torah are you reading today?
There's only one Torah.
Exactly. So which one are you reading?
Because you're saying that people lost it.
No, they lost the understanding. Like they started thinking, they only remembered that you could use it for letters and for words. They forgot that it always automatically.
Who told you this?
It's just that's
not in the Bible. It's not in the Tanakh.
Moses didn't teach us that.
No, it is the Tanakh.
But
So where do we?
It's like a giant numerical code.
Listen, I understand how the Hebrew works. I'm saying that thought process. You're saying they forgot how it works.
Not all Jews. Obviously, there are Jews who are preserving the tradition and who didn't lose this. But many Jews, largely a lot of the population, just like a lot of
And that's why I asked you, when they got exiled, they came back to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And they got taught the Torah again, right? By the same people that preserved it.
Yeah.
According to you. So how did they forget it?
How did other Israel?
I can understand people not keeping Torah.
A lot of Israelites have lost the tradition, except for like bodily and maybe like a few other mimetic things. But it's how did it happen over the course of thousands of years?
No. That's not what I'm asking you. The exiled Israelites, whether it's Babylon, whether it's Syria, Medo-Persian, the Greeks, the Romans, there was always Torah keepers and teachers, right?
Yes.
Preserved, like you said, they're preserved. So once the multitude of the Israelites went back to the land, they got taught the Torah. Because they didn't have books like we have books. They don't walk around with books back in the time.
Yeah.
They
There's
go to
an
the
effort
synagogue.
to revive the tradition. Ezra HaSofer. Ezra the
Exactly.
scribe. Yeah.
Read the Torah to him.
Yeah.
He's not saying, oh, you forgot the numerical value. No, you just didn't keep the commandments. That's all that happened.
No.
Because everybody's not a Torah teacher. Everybody's not a Levite. They're not a priest. Everybody doesn't have that job. So you have to go learn from somebody that has that duty, right? The people that are going to their home that learn from the Levites, who are the priests, they're not thinking about a numerical value. Oh, that equals this. No, they're not doing that.
No, it's
Oh,
like
I can't eat pork. I can't eat
we're all supposed
abominable
to be,
foods. What's that?
We're all supposed to be walking safer Torahs. Like everyone.
Walking what?
Walking safer Torahs. Like we're supposed
Safer
to be,
Torahs?
Yeah,
What do
like
you
we're
mean?
each like a walking Torah scroll. Like each one.
I
of us
understand
is-
that. Right now we are, yeah, of course.
Yeah, we say like we're
I believe that.
we're a nation of priests, so it's like a different
I
level.
agree now, yeah, of course. But I'm talking about back then. And that's what I'm telling you, what Torah are you reading today? That's my question is. What Torah are you reading today? What manuscript?
The Masoretic text.
Masoretic text.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
great.
Ashkenazi version.
Where you at? No, read this first.
This is Mishnah, Becharath 7. And this is it starts listing like the blemishes, right? So it says the Mishnah lists additional blemishes that disqualify a priest from performing the temple service.
So you're a walking priest right now, right? And you go to the synagogue too. You went to synagogue earlier?
I did go to synagogue. I was late though.
What'd you learn today, actually?
I was really late. There was nobody there by the time.
Oh man, this guy,
I learned to leave earlier.
That's why you're outside. You had to come to the props of the Lord and learn the real
He
Torah.
was late to shul.
What'd you do, man? You overslept? You had a party last night? What's going on? Why were you late, man? You're supposed to learn the word of God, man. It's all good, though. We're going to teach you the
It
word
was
of
a
God.
long walk. I walked to Daly City to go to this synagogue.
I believe it. I'm not following you for that. I'm just saying that you were late, brother. Come on, I'll read this.
So these are a couple, but I'm going to get to the main point. So one of them is one whose legs are crooked and bend inward, causing him to knock his ankles or to his knees into each other as he walks. Okay? And then I'm going to get to the main point. Concerning the Cushi,
Cushy. That's you said, right? What does cushy mean?
Beautiful.
What else does it mean?
Who do they call Gushi?
What do they call cushy?
Black.
Black people, right? Go ahead.
it refers to him as the dwarf, the deaf mute, the imbecile, the drunk, and those with ritually pure marks. Their conditions, hold on. And then it also says,
Read it through.
Rabbi Hanina ben Antogia says, Mero Ash does not refer to the testicles, rather to the references to anyone whose appearance is especially dark.
It says whoever has a dark appearance has a blemish and they can't be priests. That's basically what it's saying. If you have dark skin, you can't be a priest, and you have a blemish.
I don't know.
We can give you the reference point. Are you like to write something down? You have a phone? You don't have a phone on you.
No, I'll look it up after.
What is that again? Read the top.
This is Mishnah Bechorath 7. Bechorath 7.
Mishnah Bechorath 7. Read that, and we're going to get to the other one. And then also, give me this first. And let's see how Hashem feels about the opposite spectrum. Read.
From the top?
No, give me a... give me that.
Leviticus from the top.
And then jump down to like 40.
And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh rising a scab or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of a leprosy.
What's leprosy?
It depends on what the actual Hebrew is, because they might be translating different things as leprosy. Like that could be.
Okay,
Torah,
let's go to the Hebrew.
or
Let's
it
go
could
to
be
the
something
Hebrew.
else.
What is it in general, though? What is leprosy in general?
It depends. So a lot of times, when they say leprosy in English, they mean sarat, and sarat is not the condition of leprosy that we have today.
What is it?
Sarat.
I know, what's the definition? That's what I'm asking.
It's not the leprosy of today. That's a disease. That's a bacterial disease.
Yeah, it's not clear what they're talking about.
Exactly,
No,
I agree.
we
I'm
agree.
talking about the Hebrew.
We agree.
The Hebrew.
Sarat.
Yeah, we agree with that.
Yeah.
Because they made up some new word for leprosy. And that's not the Torah. We're talking about the Torah leprosy. What is the definition of a leprosy in Torah?
Sarat, that has to be examined by a priest in order for the priest to
You're a
diagnose
priest.
it.
Right?
Yeah, but I think that's referring specifically to Cohen, to Kohanim, to Aaron.
So you're not a Cohen now. You're not a priest.
I'm not a priest from Aaron's line.
Of course you're not. But are you a priest today? If somebody that didn't know Torah,
We're a nation of priests, so it's like we're all supposed
exactly.
to be
So are you supposed to take on that role?
Yeah, we're all supposed to take on that role. That's why
Yeah.
we watch.
So
and-
you can be a Cohen in the spirit, not literally. And that's all we're saying. Because we're up here being priests. I know I'm not from the tribe of Levi. I'm definitely not. Because I'm still teaching what they taught. Because I'm not going to no synagogue and learning from an Aaronite. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
So this is the Hebrew word for that, right? And it's Zarat, right? And it goes. Let me go down to the Jacinians, right? Jacinians, God said, as both of men for the black leprosy, right? In the houses, which is nitrous scab, even found on garments, mold and spots contracted and being shut up. And it goes into Leviticus 13, 47, all the way to 59, so on and so on, right? So a scab or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or anybody in that office, right? Or unto one of his sons of the priest. And the priest shall look on the skin, on the plague of the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague is sight being deeper than the skin of the flesh, it is the plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. You said down to 14? 30. Verse 30. The priest shall see the plague, and behold, if that be deeper, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there shall be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry skull, even a leprosy upon the head or beard.
So, do you understand where you're at? So, basically, long story short, it's saying white skin and yellow hair is leprosy. Right or wrong?
No.
What is it saying?
Much more specific than that. But like I would need to like sit down and like read that, because the other thing is that buildings can also get
What's
tzara.
that?
Buildings can also get tzara. Like a
You're
building
right. You're
can
right.
get
Yeah.
tzara.
You're right.
So it's not like
But this is talking about flesh.
yeah, but it's not like that's like a whole thing that I would need to like sit down and like, you know,
So,
read.
so I mean, we read it in English, but I understand what you're saying. You read Hebrew, you understand the Hebrew. Great. The translation isn't that far off from the Hebrew.
It could be a good translation. I don't know.
Well, the theme of it is the flesh. It's not talking about anything on a wall. 'Cause I know what you're talking about. The plays of the wall, things like that. This is talking about flesh. And let's read this in Numbers. Give me Numbers. Go ahead. At the top.
Okay. This is Numbers 12. This is the murmuring of Miriam. All right. And Miriam and Aaron spake.
Go ahead.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, have the Most High indeed spoken only by Moses?
So they were jealous of Moses. Remember the story?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Had he not spoken also by us? And the Most High heard it. Let me go down to the point. And in anger, the Most High was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed. Leviticus 12:9. In verse 10, and the cloud departed from the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous,
Leprous. How'd she turn?
white as snow.
So that's leprosy in the Bible.
Yeah.
White skin is leprosy, right?
It's not only white though. I think it's also
This
red.
is an example.
Yeah. It's not only white though. I think it's also red patches and like some
Yeah,
other color
scabs and
patches.
things like that.
Yeah.
But that's we're talking about this particular verse. This
How did he describe it?
yeah, how they describe it, white as snow, because the Jews at this time were what, melanated, right or wrong?
Yeah, we have different traditions about people's skin color. In general, we think most of Israel was darker skinned in the past.
Absolutely.
But we also have some traditions where people are highlighted for their skin color, like Moses' wife Zipporah, who was said she was beautiful because she was black.
Yeah. She wasn't Israelite though. She was
actually a Cushite.
yeah, she was a Cushite.
Or she was a Midianite, so then it gets a little bit more
Yes,
complicated.
that goes back to
She was Yittro's daughter.
What's that?
She was Yittro's daughter, so there's
Yeah.
a tradition that you have more than one wife, there's other traditions
Yeah,
about
he
how
had,
to resolve it.
he definitely had more than one wife.
So,
That's lawful, right? Polygyny? Great. That's Thor. You can't lose Thor. You know what I mean? Even though
that's a great example.
why-
There was a rabbinical prohibition against.
Why?
polygyny.
So, but if they couldn't make a permanent prohibition because they can't turn.
But why would they do that in general if they read the Torah?
The Torah
So
says
the
otherwise.
reason it happened was because they were living under the Christians. The Christians wouldn't allow
Where?
in Europe. So Christians wouldn't allow multiple
They
wives.
wouldn't allow them to keep their
Yeah, so
religious freedom.
in order to
I see what
prevent-
you're saying.
Yeah.
I can get with that.
But they could only make a 1,000-year ban on it because they can't overrule the Torah law. Because Torah says you have more
And
than
Christians are
one wife.
supposed to keep the Torah, supposedly, but we know they don't.
Um,
We know they don't.
but yeah, but the
And-
ban just expired on polygyny, so you know,
Interesting.
just so you know.
So rabbis can have multiple wives now.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Where are you at? So you saying, what's your name again, brother?
But I don't think rabbis tend to be pretty pro-monogamy.
To each his own. Either way, you can't prohibit God's Torah. Right.
Exactly.
What's your name you said again? My bad.
Harel.
R-A-L?
Harel.
R-L.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I see you got the tassels on. That's a law, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from?
What?
The little thing on your head.
Kippah?
Where did that come from?
Yarmulke?
Yeah.
I think I picked it up at a shul some time ago.
You picked it up where?
It was just a random yarmulke.
Is that a law?
The yarmulke, so you're required to have head coverings during prayer as well as during some other activities. But many people have a tradition of just always wearing one.
Only in the synagogue or just in general?
In general, yeah.
So anytime you leave your house, you have to have that on?
Some people have tradition they won't take 4 steps without.
I'm talking about you.
Me, I wear it all the time.
And
Unless
is
I'm
that,
taking
I'm
a
saying
shower.
though, is that something that they tell you have to do? Because it's not in Torah.
No, it's just if you're in a community where you are constantly engaging in prayer and tefillah, it's like you're going to take it off and put it back on, take it off and put it back on, take it off and put it back on.
So if you don't wear it, what happens?
If you pray without the proper preparation, I don't know. I want to find out.
Is that in the Torah though?
Yeah.
Or is that another rabbinical law?
I'm pretty sure it comes from Torah law and the.
Right, sure.
Yeah, it's probably in Leviticus stuff.
You don't have a phone on you. I never heard of it.
I believe that the head covering was really only talking to the Kohen. Really.
So
Yeah,
a
the
lot of
actual
stuff
priest.
that we do today is because we are performing the duties of the Kohanim because we don't have a temple and they can't.
Cool, no problem.
But is that what they were wearing back in the day?
No, they wouldn't have worn it. Keep it like this, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? Because you know.
I'm gonna tell you now, we weren't wearing that in ancient days.
I think that
We weren't doing it.
I think that came during the Hellenization.
No, I
Because
mean,
the
like,
Greeks
there's
have some similar to that.
Where there's all sorts of head coverings, like there's ones that we know are more ancient, like the specific head coverings that described for the priesthood. But you know, I don't know anything that says that there wasn't a diversity of different types of head coverings that Israelites could wear back in the day.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah.
And you don't believe in a Messiah, quote unquote Jesus.
No, not Jesus.
Do you believe he existed?
Yeah, I think there was like a real guy.
How do you feel about him?
It's not something that I think about a lot because.
I'm just asking you.
I don't.
He existed though, right?
Yeah, I think he's a real guy. Some people say like there's 2 different guys and he got like body swapped out. That's
what the Muslims say. That's what the Muslims say. You believe that?
I don't know. It's not something I study because it's not like
He's not the Messiah, right? Give me the Daniel 9. Are you familiar with prophecy? Are you familiar with prophecy?
The concept.
Are you familiar, like,
The concept.
how's your Nebuah, like, studying about Nebuah, about prophecy?
It's something I'm interested in. I heard they recently reestablished a school for training prophets in Israel. So I think the prophecy is that Nebuah will return to the people, but there's some conditions.
So there's no prophets right now, according to.
So
Wait a minute.
we don't know exactly when it's gonna return. So
No.
it already has, and there already is a Navi walking around.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You just said something about they're opening a school in Israel for prophets?
For training prophets.
How does that work?
They train them in Nebuah, so it's like the school of
How?
Elijah.
Who's training?
So these are traditions that are been passed down largely in secret, but
So you're under the authority of the nation, of the state of Israel, the people you learn from.
Me, no.
So
No.
why are you talking about it?
The school, because we were talking about Nebuah.
So you believe that though?
The school doesn't have anything to do with the government in Israel.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
The people that you learn from out here, did they tell you that?
No, I heard it from someone, just a random guy I met.
Do you believe those people are Jews out there?
The Jews in Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're Jews.
Yeah.
Wow. All
Yeah.
right.
It
Well,
could be, we don't know who is from a direct, line from one of the Shvatim, from one of the tribes, and who's proselyte. That would be the term that we would use if we wanted to.
so they could be converts for all you know, right?
Yeah, but converts are a part of our nation. That's something that's
Converts where?
What do you mean?
Like other nations converting to Judaism and becoming Jews?
Yeah, that's a fundamental part of the Torah. It's all over
Where?
the Torah. It shows up all the time. It's love the proselyte.
Where?
It shows up so many places, and that they have to keep the laws.
Of course they have. Of course they have to keep the laws in our land.
Yeah.
But they're not Jews. As soon as they leave the land, what do they become?
They're
still Jews until they leave.
No, they are a part of our people. The fact that Judaism is a suitcase for our civilization, and so that suitcase contains within it the component of how we would naturalize people to our civilization.
So they
when we
become
live
Jews.
in the land. So today we call everyone Jews because of Judahite kingship. So under that paradigm,
Hold on, you call who Jews?
we call everyone Jews because of Judahite kingship.
Who? Who do you call Jews?
We even call Levites Jews.
Of course they're Jews. I'm talking about people that are converts. They're called Jews?
Yeah,
How?
we call everyone Jews now.
So it's just about practicing the culture.
No, it's like once the whole nation is now called under Judah because of the Judahite kingship.
I understand that. I'm talking about people that you learn from.
Yeah.
Whether they're converts or not, they're Jews because they believe and follow Torah, right? That makes them a Jew. Or what
No,
does it
they're
take to
Jews by
become a
birth.
Jew?
They're Jews by birth. Whether you're saying, and they're observant, but they're also Jews by birth.
Who?
You're saying who I learn from, or who?
Some people.
People you learn from and people over there in Israel.
You're saying
They were born Jews, and that's what I told you before. Because you said you grew up in this culture, right? Your grandfather, your father passed the information down, but you didn't start doing it until, what, 12 years ago or something? That's what you said? So were you always a Jew? Because I asked you that same question about 15 minutes ago.
yeah, it's like we don't know.
But you have to
who's
convert
Jewish or
yourself
not.
back. Do a pricking of the blood, that's what you said.
Yeah, but we don't. If you don't have proof of your Jewishness today, if you don't have proof, then you do like a giyur. We call it like giyur lechumra or giyur.
So you're a convert at that time.
Yeah. So you're
Okay.
like both.
I'm sorry?
Best of both worlds.
So it can't be oral at that time.
What do you mean oral?
Oral tradition at that time. If you know your father and your grandfather are Jews, and you bump your head, lose your memory, come back around, hey, what are you talking about? I don't know what's going on. But
Yeah,
it's my family
if
still.
you don't have the proof, then when you come back to the community,
What proof do you need? How do you get the proof?
It depends. Depends on if it's most like for rabbis, they're just gonna check to see if your mom is Jewish. Like certain things they'll look at like a gravestone in the cemetery, like you know your grandma's
Gravestone?
Yeah, in order to prove like
What does it say on the person's gravestone?
it's just if they're in a Jewish cemetery, then
Oh, interesting.
yeah. So if you like lost all your basically like your marriage contracts to catch a boat, like a lot of families they lost everything.
Yeah.
A lot, like millions.
Yeah, of course.
So then, but the cemetery's still there. So they're like,
Wait a minute, but there's people dying all throughout that time period. So how's that work?
Yeah, but like if you're a particular person, you know this your grandma, and she's in the Jewish cemetery, then
But,
your mom's mom. Then
but sir, why would they bury them in the Jewish cemetery if they don't know who they are? If
yeah,
they're
so
Jewish
I
or
mean,
not?
there's more difficult cases like people where we don't even know where they are bodies.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So that's where you're coming in with the convert aspect.
Yeah.
So are they considered foreigners until they convert?
You think you're saying like a case where there's someone who is believed to have Jewish ancestry but lacks any proof?
Even if they didn't have Jewish ancestry, just in general, they want to come to you
So
or come to
basically,
the culture.
They would. It depends on the level. Every case would be specific, but some cases they would get basically like they call it like giyur klal, like a complete giyur. It's like even if they are Israelite, they still
Fresh off the street. Yeah.
There's just no evidence.
Yeah.
Or it's they have some, so then it's more like giyur lechumra. It's just a precaution that we're doing.
Yeah. Exactly. Just in case they have to treat
and
them
then some people
accordingly.
they figure out, oh, we got the proof, you good, you don't have to do giyur.
Okay. So where are the cemeteries at?
You're saying what cemetery?
Where are the Jewish cemeteries?
Where?
Yeah.
There are a lot. There's a lot. There's
You're talking about in America, right?
in America? No, there's Jewish cemeteries in Africa.
What I'm not saying. I'm saying just in this because we're in America.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in Africa. Of course, it's Jewish communities, quote unquote, Igbo and all those other Jews over there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying because you said one thing earlier. You said that you go by your mother.
Yeah.
Is that in Torah?
Yeah, there's Torah. The Torah indicates matrilineality.
Where?
Matrilineality.
Where?
After Matan Torah, after the Torah is given.
Can you reference the scripture or? 'Cause I don't agree with
There's
that
a
at all.
lot of Pesukim.
Give me Ezra 2:59.
But yeah, I mean that's like the whole issue. I don't want to debate the whole thing though. I was going
I'm
to
just
my
asking
nap
questions.
after I got done with the first.
This is my first time talking to somebody, a quote unquote black Judaism. Because I believe you are people. I just don't believe you're in the right practice. You're learning from
Right.
Amalekites. You're learning from fake Jews. You're learning from people that sponsor the slave trade.
Right.
That's what you're into right now. And I'm concerned for your soul. You're keeping the law. Is your clothes 100%? Is that in Torah?
they're not. It's not like shatnez if that's what you're wondering.
I'm sorry?
It's not shatnez.
It's not blended.
No.
So it's 100% fabric.
Yeah, there's two separate fabrics.
Yeah, great. That's what I'm saying. That's Torah, right?
Yeah.
I'm wearing 100% everything. That's you're keeping law. So I'm saying you're on the right path, but it's not according to the actual Torah. Right. You're learning from your enemy right now. And that's why I brought out in Leviticus 13 leprosy. Those white people they're clean lepers according to God. Right. They're not Jews. Those are Amalekites.